Hey, we're back. It's uneventful intro, but we're back.
Hey everybody, don't get scammed by Tippy Stream. There you go. There's a fun intro for us.
Yeah, talk about that little drama.
Yeah, sure, for anyone who cares. I guess I do know that a lot of YouTubers and Twitch streamers and stuff who are starting out watch the show. So here's some advice to you. I used to use a service, or I guess I still use it at this exact moment, called Tippy Stream. That is TIPEEE stream.com, I think it is. And it's like, it puts like on-screen alerts and stuff, has a tip jar and stuff. You know, it's one of those websites, like Streamlabs. I use it because it's pretty good. It's free, kind of. They take a small amount of donations, like a small percentage. But it's good for streamers who get almost no donations, of which, you know, I got almost none for a long time. So I just, you know, still kind of have it as a holdover. It works for them, and the service is pretty good usually. Turns out that every time someone has ever donated using bank transfer, they've just held that money in escrow and never told me that I have to enter in certain information for that. And here we are years later, and they email me to tell me, like, hey, we have what is in Canadian money, $4,000. Oh, right, I forgot Flarin has Explosion. That's hilarious. 4,000 Canadian dollars of donations just built up over years and years and years. And they're just gonna take it. And so I go to the page to put in the bank info, and it doesn't accept it. It's broken. In fact, there's two pages for it. Both are broken in different ways, so I contacted their support 3.5 weeks ago at the time of recording this. I gave them the info that long ago, and they still send an email like every half a week just saying, hey, you have this many days left to get your money. And I just email the support again, and I say, hey, I go into these emails, like, are you sure you sent off my info to the tech team? And they're like, yeah, don't worry about it. It'll for sure be inputted before that date. Well, today, it has been 3.5 weeks of that, and I don't trust them anymore, and there's a global pandemic going on right now, and I think they're trying to walk with my money. So I went on their Twitter and I saw that other YouTubers and streamers are also responding to them saying, hey, you guys walked with my money. So I just went public on Twitter like 20 minutes ago with this whole thing. And I think that going public with it might actually get them off their ass to send the money. Regardless, I am definitely switching tip service after this because I can't trust them anymore. So yeah, just anyone who uses that service, the only reason I used to use it is one, it's dirt cheap, and two, because it supported Hitbox/Smashcast at a time when Streamlabs didn't, which I think it still doesn't, but no one uses that website anymore anyway. No one uses Smashcast. Smashcast, yeah. As soon as Hitbox is great, but as soon as it got bought by Azubu and became Smashcast, it really went to shit.
Some people probably don't even know about Smashcast or Hitbox.
Probably. Hitbox has been gone for quite a while now. And Smashcast hasn't mattered since day one. Like, They had a massive drop-off in users the week they changed over because the service was way worse under the new management, so everyone left. Because why would you stay? Like, when I left their website, I was the highest viewed stream consistently on all of Smashcast when I left. Which is insane, because at the time I would average like 30 viewers. So that's depressing. Considering how good Hitbox was back in its day, Jesus.
At least Twitch fixed their shit.
Mostly, yeah. They still have problems all the time, but it's better than what Smashcast is right now, I can say that definitively.
But what else is new?
Yeah. I mean, Twitch is its own bag of shit. You know they banned someone yesterday for making a joke about the coronavirus? They made a joke. A dark joke. Honestly, not even that dark a joke. I make darker jokes.
I make darker jokes.
Permaban.
I am going to not put my initial intro at the end of this video because of this whole, hey, people got banned on Twitch. What happens if I get banned on YouTube?
You won't. YouTube, they don't care about that.
Better not to
YouTube cares
risk it.
about YouTube cares about the first minute of the video because that's all that gets reviewed in terms of the auto captions. Fun fact, by the way, if you don't want to get demonetized, don't say hard swears in the first minute, and you're fine.
Okay, well, we're going for 6 minutes. Fuck.
Well, there. Have we really been going 6 minutes? It feels like 3.
I've been recording for 6. It's probably been 3.
I've been going for 6, but I guess we did take a little while trying to think of a hilarious intro. A peek behind the curtain, everybody. Our process of coming up with a great intro is usually just, oh, fuck, what am I gonna say? And then one of us blurts something that's stupid, and we're like, yeah, we'll leave that in.
I almost did.
Yeah. Oh my god. So we were trying to discuss what the hell are we gonna do when I inevitably beat the game like 5 hours earlier than whattageek because I was given an Alakazam with confusion.
We pretty much determined that I'm gonna play the game out, but for what mah-dry's gonna do, we don't know yet. I was suggesting just put a completed stamp on his screen and say, alright, his gameplay is done, he's already done with blue, he's on to something different right now. To which I was thinking, maybe I could just randomize another ROM and have him romp through that until I finish this. But it would still be like a red and blue randomizer. We can just say, mah-dry is done for blue.
Just randomize yellow, and I'll goof around in yellow until you're done.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't need to finish, because that... all of a sudden, we'd have this weird lopsided thing of us going back and forth, you know, finishing at different times. That'd suck.
And as far as randomizers we're going to consider for next playthrough, I don't really have any ideas. Just whatever comes up.
Yeah, I'm sure the comment section will have some good ideas.
Someone was asking earlier today on Astral Chain playthrough, oddly enough, which is not relevant, please don't do that, about about if we're going to do a Black and White 2 randomizer. And you've never played Black and White 2, right?
Never played them, even casually, not for a moment. The only thing I know about Black and White 2 is I watched a speedrun of it once. So I know very little about it. All I did
very
was watch
well
a speedrun.
Versed, in other words.
Yeah, literally all I know about it is I watched one speedrun of it, and it looked pretty fun. It looks better than Black and White, and I already think Black and White are pretty solid games casually. So, just looks like better Black and White, so I don't see any problem with it.
It basically is, yeah. Like, it adds some Pokemon in that were not in the original Black and White, so it's not completely all Gen 5 Pokemon right from the get-go.
Okay, so it's not adding new Pokemon, it's re-adding old Pokemon that weren't in... Okay. Okay, well that sounds like a fine idea, considering... Wasn't it Black and White was the one where, until you beat the game at least, it's only new Pokemon. Which is exactly why there are so many designs in Gen 5 that people can point to and say, what the hell was that? And the people who really like Gen 5 usually come back and they say, well, Gen 1 had a lot of stupid ones. Yeah, because those are the 2 generations in which every Pokemon in it was new. And so, like, a lot of ones that would normally get left on the cutting room floor because they aren't good enough got put in. It's the 2 generations where they did that. The first being,
awful
it was
examples.
the first ever.
Yeah, they're awful examples for using, or for picking out, hey, this generation did it better, or hey, this generation did it worse.
Yeah, like honestly, they're the low-hanging fruit, is Gen 1 and Gen 5, because they added the most new Pokemon, and so naturally, they're gonna have the most crap Pokemon, because they have to have lower standards for what gets in. It's just kind of how it is. That's why I don't really take... When people say, like, oh, this Gen 1 Pokemon is stupid, or this Gen 5 one is stupid. Yeah, I'll laugh at it mildly and stuff, whatever, but, like, I don't take it as a serious criticism, because it's literally unavoidable. It's the low-hanging fruit. Oh my god. Normally I play Gen 1 on mute. Whenever I play the Pokemon games for Pokemon challenges, I just play it on mute and like watch stuff on the side and stuff. Oh my god, the dinging for being poisoned is really obnoxious.
It just occurred to me, there's a new glitch I think I found. So I switched into Ivysaur and then switched out to Omanyte. And Omanyte beat a Pokemon. But my Nidoking gained experience and leveled up.
Yeah, that... I don't personally know about that glitch, but that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
You ever been on the page for Gen 1 glitches in Bulbapedia? It's a pretty funny novel.
Does it have Paperclip Truck Driver on it?
It doesn't, which means it's not as good as the Dragon Ball Wiki.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's disincentivizing me from checking it out.
Yeah. I mean, if someone could just go on Bulbapedia and make a page for Paperclip Truck Driver.
Yes, please. I would very much appreciate it.
Now the fucking Bulbapedia staff are gonna be mad at me because they're gonna always have to be deleting that.
Well, you tried.
It's okay. Wasn't there that one time when it turned out a bunch of people involved in Bulbapedia were, like, sharing child porn or something?
Excuse you?
Yeah, that was a thing. I heard about that. I think it was, like, some of the higher-ups in it. It's not, like, the whole staff or anything, but I'm fairly sure those people went to prison. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't heard an update on that in a while, but, like, they were using, like, some kind of server back-end thing to talk about some dodgy shit.
Can they just use, like, Skype or Discord? Either way, that's fucked up.
It might have been forum moderators for Bulbapedia. That might have been it. It had something to do with some staff of Bulbapedia. I think it might have been forum moderators. Not 100% sure on that before everyone at Bulbapedia goes trying to crucify me. If you're at Bulbapedia and you're trying to crucify me right now, then yeah, you know the names of the people I'm talking about, don't ya?
Yeah.
It's funny how things work out. Well, I guess we just inadvertently, shat on two companies that have some dodgy history.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying Tippy stream. Alright, that one's dodgy as fuck right now. That one seems dodgy at its core. Bulbapedia, as far as I'm aware, the, troublesome individuals seem to be kind of, ancillary characters, not exactly the people running it, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't go saying Bulbapedia's horrible because of that. As far as I'm aware, it was, they hired some employees with some dark shit that they didn't know about at the time. Which, you know, that could happen to anyone.
Mm-hmm. And at the moment, Bulbapedia is just kind of plagued with a... Would you say it's a bad interface because of all the ads, or is it just an annoying interface?
I guess you would say it is bad because it actively impedes the usability of the website. The advertisements are at a point where... I'll put it this way. My smartphone is kind of old. It's, like, not really up to date. I've owned one smartphone ever. And so I've never updated it. It's kind of old. It's like an Android Samsung Galaxy something. I don't know.
Something.
It's okay. It works fine. I just don't like smartphones. But it does what it's supposed to.
It's because they're dumb. They're a misnomer.
Yeah, they're not even smart. But right, this phone, back before I had the Brave browser, it's just called Brave. It's a browser. It's based on Chrome. It just has a really good built-in, ad block. I recommend it for phones especially. But when I used to just use Chrome on my phone, I went to Bulbapedia because I'd be like looking stuff up while Fatima's playing or something. It'd be slow as fuck because the advertisements be loading all over the place. I had to scroll past them. It's hard to scroll because it's a small screen and everything. This phone is slowing down because there are like autoplay video advertisements. It was absolutely obnoxious. As soon as I got Brave and it started cutting out those advertisements, it loaded so much faster. It was less of a pain. It wasn't chugging. There wasn't these autoplay advertisements. So I understand Bulbapedia is used a shitload, and it is not very profitable because there's almost no advertisements if you're using ad block on it. It's basically no profit margin. I get it. It's a very hard business model to make a profit off of. And I think they have a Patreon, but they barely advertise it at all, A, and B, even if they did, almost no one would use it. That's just kind of how Patreon and donation links work, is if it's on a service you use every day, like you could be Wikipedia, which you probably use like almost every day, and the vast majority of people who see those really big paragraphs at the beginning, it's like, please donate to Wikipedia. No one does it. Like almost no one does it. They get paid by a few individuals who see that and have a lot of money to throw around. You know, it's like a mobile game. Almost no one pays for it, but the people who do pay for all of it, you know?
So, like, Wraith Shadow Legends.
Yeah, like any kind of game like that, where it's almost no one pays money who plays it, but the people who do pay shitloads. Because they're what they would refer to in marketing terms as the whale. Is that they just pay shitloads and shitloads, and they're basically addicts. It's really depressing. But that's kind of how it is with donations on websites like this too. Just not sinister, where it's just I just need to slowly die now because I ran out of PowerPoints on Confusion. Please hit me, Lapras, for the love of God. Right, so that's how that works, and it's depressing. So I understand that Bulbapedia does need to monetize itself in some way, because it's gonna be a very difficult website to run. And there's people who have to work on it a lot, and they probably don't get paid hourly. They probably don't get paid at all, a lot of them, you know, forum moderators and stuff.
They're volunteers more than anything.
Exactly. I'd imagine that the majority of the labor is done by just volunteers because they can't afford to pay anyone else, and people are kind enough to volunteer, which is fantastic that there's people willing to do that. It does mean, however, that they got to put in these really annoying fucking ads to try and make some money because they're trying to make money because donations aren't fucking working probably, or else they wouldn't be resorting to this. But the advertisements are so goddamn obnoxious and in the way of the website usability that is driving people to just use ad block on it. So they gotta find that sweet spot of enough advertisements to pay for it and not so many that everyone just turns on ad block, you know? And they have not found that fucking ratio. So yeah, I'm sympathetic to the plight, but good God.
It's a bit messy.
Yeah.
Tentacle just tried to use
the way I have my audio
on
set up right now, what's it called? Wouldn't hear my audio. Let me fix that.
Not that I would
hear
be
my
able to
game
hear
audio.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'll fix that anyway, just in case you end up using any of it.
Right.
You know, my Hall of Fame music or whatever. I fixed it. Did I fix it? Yeah, I fixed it. There we go. Sorry, it's just I forgot to set my Windows sound to the track that Obs would be hearing for that. You still get my microphone the whole time, though. Don't worry about that.
Cool.
Yeah. Sorry, insider tech shit, everybody. This is the pains of having a very complicated audio setup. It sounds awesome, and it's great for editing, but you gotta remember to switch about 100 things a day. Fun fact, I actually had a guy come in today who's got a big recording studio. We got some furniture recently from just a local furniture place. And it's just kind of like a mom and pop shop. And so the husband of the owner was doing a lot of the moving today. In fact, he had to be alone because a bunch of the movers bailed because of the pandemic going on right now.
It also caused us to get behind on a day of recording.
Yeah, a day and a half, more likely. We were gonna start this recording 4 hours ago, but he was late, and then he took forever because he was one dude. I feel sorry for him, but he's a nice guy at least. I don't know what the hell kept him. I can only assume he had to deliver a bunch of stuff that day, and it was just him. Yeah, he also owns a recording studio, which I thought was pretty cool. And so when he came in and took a look at this studio, we talked microphones and stuff for a while, and in studios, and it was just an interesting time.
Almost made up for how he was so late.
Yeah, I don't hold him responsible for that, honestly. It's just a really annoying circumstance. You wouldn't think that during a quarantine, a countrywide quarantine that Canada's going through right now, that things would be coming into my house and interrupting me from recording with people. And yet, during the quarantine is when I have been interrupted the most from recording with people in other countries when we're all just in our rooms anyway, you know? Like, have you left your apartment today?
No.
Yeah, I figured not. Most people aren't, right? Like, it's just, why take unnecessary? It's like, I have autoimmune, I'm autoimmune compromiser, immunocompromise. Trying to think of how to pronounce that, actually.
Immunocompromiser?
I am
Autoimmunocompromised.
immunocompromised. Yes, because for anyone who doesn't know, I don't really talk about it much anymore because it's very rarely relevant to what anyone's talking about. I have a litany of disabilities. Like, fucking cerebral palsy, Ehlers, that was weird. Like, a bunch of sound effects just played late. Huh. I think there was just too much going on because the instant text speed, it couldn't, like, load all the sounds in time. That was weird. But right, I have cerebral palsy and Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and a lot of little things that just mean I have a very, it means a few things, but mostly I have a very poor immune system, and so I'm actually at high risk of the coronavirus. So I might have it and just be in the incubation period, I don't know. I probably am not gonna die. I wouldn't worry about that because I'm 27. I'm not exactly in a risk category, either then that my immune system is very poor. But I'm probably not gonna die. I'm gonna say, if I were to get it, I'm gonna be in like the 2% death category. So that's the way I look at it.
And that's a good way of thinking about it.
Yep, whereas most people my age group, I believe, are into like 0.03 or something. Like, it's not really, there's not really any concern that young people are gonna die of it. The concern is that they're gonna give it to old people. Which is a valid concern, because, you know, disease spreads kind of easy. Mm-hmm. So, you know, self-quarantine, it's a good idea. It's not just for you, it's for others. And self-quarantining, man, that's what I do all day anyway. Like, before this whole thing happened, I hadn't left my front door in like 2 weeks anyway. I just moved here. I'm working my fucking ass off to catch up on the lost time from the move, you know? I just moved here. I moved here, 4.5 weeks ago is when I moved here.